Should I?
I guess so. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's section. We are so thrilled and excited to see you guys at today's section. So today's section is focused on if you're new in machine learning and artificial intelligence, or you're interested in artificial intelligence, you have to stay during the course of this section to be able to learn more about how you can use machine learning to solve solutions in your country of residence. I can see that we have some people from Kenya, South Africa, Nigeria. You all are all welcome to today's webinar. So we'll have one of our speakers, Victoria. Victoria, do you want to say hi to the attendees? Hi, Victoria. Victoria, kindly unmute your mic, please. We can't hear you. Thank you. Please can you can hear Victoria. Victoria, kindly unmute your mic, please. Okay, guys, as we are waiting for Victoria to talk, you can use the comment section to drop your three main goals, what you want to achieve during the course of today's webinar. I guess Victoria is back. Hello, Victoria. Can you hear us? Victoria, I think you're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Can you unmute yourself?
Okay, I have
Okay,
unmuted
she's back now.
myself.
All right. Hi, Victoria. Can you hear me?
I think I is muted because I didn't hear.
Hello, guys. Apologies for the delay. We are having some technical issues, and that's why we're having the delay. So, Victoria, can you talk now?
Yes, I can talk.
All right. Go ahead,
Let
please.
me start.
Okay. Victoria, kindly introduce yourself to the attendees. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Victoria Chirotich Mutai. I'm a software developer at Legacy Softwares. Uh, I'm from Kenya. I have worked as a software developer for the past 4 years. I did a diploma in for the past 4 years. I did a diploma in information communication technology, and for the better part of programming on my own, and I'm also a machine learning enthusiast. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victoria. I'm going to be calling on Mr. Daniel to give a brief description of what the webinar is all about.
time today, and I hope every one of us listening to us home. I hope you are enjoying innovation. Innovation is actually a means of um, reworking success. Innovation. Innovation is actually a means of reworking success. Nation. As we all know, that the world is actually facing a myriad of challenges, and tech is the only way where and how these challenges can be solved. And for us at EduBridge Data Academy, we have looked at these challenges and we've seen that we can pave the way, we can be a way maker for making these challenges go away using technology. So today we'll be having speakers from Kenya and Nigeria here looking at topical issues and topical solutions on how these challenges can be solved. Victoria has spoken and we'll be having another keynote speaker. I'm going to just give us a brief introduction of EduBridge Data Academy. For us as an academy, we have been available, we have been online for the past 10 years, since 2010, and we have actually trained a lot of people all over Nigeria and online across the world. We have actually been talking and teaching people in over 150 courses, ranging from data marketing to software development to machine learning, project management, and design. We have actually had a lot of success stories. We've had some of our alumni go on to become great innovators across the world. And because of this, we are actually looking at having the next generation of innovators coming through from our academy. And I hope that for all of us looking at us and watching us from home, you can actually join us as a team, join us as an academy, and allow us to help you shape your digital journey. And today, we will be actually looking at all of this and ensuring that you can be a part of us. You can also be a great success story. We have worked with, we have partnered with great international companies in Nigeria and across the world, like Google and Simply Learn, which is one of the biggest international certification company for digital courses. And with this, we can assure you that you are in a good hand, you are in a great hand, you are in an experienced hand. And because our faculties are people that are top of their game, they are people that have done this, they are people that are expert, they are people that have success stories. They've worked on various campaigns, worked on various jobs in this industry. And I want to assure you that if you join us in this journey, if you register with us, if you come to our academy and become a student, you too will be another success story in the making. Thank you and God bless you. So we'll be moving on to the next item. Our keynote speaker is on hold, and Ezineye will be introducing our keynote speaker, and she will be giving us how to drive innovation using technology.
Thank you, Mr. Daniel, for that insightful introduction. So now we'll be kicking off. We'll be starting with our first speaker, that's Victoria. Victoria, are you ready to present?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. So let's present this slide.
Hi everybody, once again my name is Victoria Mutai. I'm just going to do a short presentation on machine learning, the basics of machine learning and how to kickstart your career in machine learning. While we are on it, ask you guys think about what happens if one day internet disappears, networks are closed. What will you do? Where will you start? As you think about that, let's dive into machine learning.
Sorry, Victoria, can you
I
repeat your
hope you can.
question?
Yes?
Please, can you repeat the question?
Pardon?
Victoria, can we hear you? Can you repeat yourself?
Start as we go into machine learning. Can you hear me right now? Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, sure, we can. Thank you.
Oh, we can. Okay, so my name is Victoria Chai. I am a co-founder of Legacy Softwares. I work as a software developer full-time. Apart from that, I love working with communities, building communities, and giving back to the community. I love volunteering. And that's how actually we met with Jennifer, one of the friends of Shani. As I kickstart my speech, I'd like to ask you guys, think about this. What happens if one day in the morning you wake up, it has disappeared, you don't have any connections, you can't use your phone? Where will you go back to? What are you going to do? What will be your reaction? That. Meanwhile, let's kickstart our presentation. So I'm going to deep in. To me, machine learning is a branch of science. By basically being a branch of science, you are required to have some basics of science, computer. So you also have to deal with algorithms and systems performing tasks using patterns and inferences rather than just writing programming instructions. For software developers on the call, most of the time you find yourself writing programming instructions so that the computer can follow it step by step. But with machine learning, instead of having instructions, you train you train your computer, or you train the machine to learn. After giving some examples of data, it knows what will happen next. So that's basically what machine learning is. And for the amount of data, and also to use data science. So some reasons for learning machine learning. Why should we learn machine learning? For me, it reduces the time used in programming, because in 50 instructions, you can just 50 lines summarize to maybe 10, 15, and then after have the computer to meet them later. You train it to do the instructions, and then you can also customize products, then make them better for specific groups. That's like for natural language, have people how it's so easy to translate it using machine learning so that other people can understand it. And then you can use it to solve unprogrammable tasks. For example, in and for you to program it, you can use machine learning. And the final thing, it's changing the way you think of a problem. So yeah, that's my reasons for learning machine learning. There are two types of machine learning that are available currently. There is the supervised and unsupervised learning. The supervised learning, you're using labeled data to train a model. We are going to go through the keywords so that you what is a labeled data model. So there are two types of machine learning models. There is supervised. Supervised, you're using labeled data. I'll give you an example. For example, for labeled data, for example, to train your machine, to train your model to predict a picture has a lake or it doesn't have it. So like you would have, if the image has these characteristics, that means it contains a lake. So for label, you have to use, for supervised learning, you have to use yes or no. And then unsupervised learning, you label data. Come to realize most data in the world is unlabeled. So if you're using our example for the lake, you're going to use things like pixels and the colors so that to differentiate a lake and what is not a lake. So unsupervised learning would help solve so many problems in the world because we have more data that is unlabeled than labeled. So as promised, we're going to go through the keywords that are used in machine learning. So the first thing, like we used here in supervised learning, we had labeled data. So a label, it means a label is the thing that we are predicting. And then a feature is the input. What we are inputting, like a lake has blue color. If it's an image, a lake has blue. So that's a feature. And then an example in a mail, it means a particular instance of data. So when you get into machine learning, you'd realize you have to train your computer with more examples so that it can easily adapt to data and then it can easily predict correctly. And then you're going to get through labeled examples. Labeled examples include a label, the thing that you're predicting, and the feature. So like in supervised learning, you'd give the lake color blue, no, not color blue, with that example, the feature. We have to just creating and learning the model. You create the model and then you start learning it, and then inference. You now, after you have trained and learned the model, you now have the trained model into unlabeled example to be able to then predicts continuous values. Now the regression model, it's a type of model that predicts. For example, you open a website, the regression model will predict if you are likely to click an ad. For example, most of us are techies, using your to Google stuff on software development, etc. You have like ads on the courses you're going to do. So the regression model on that part tries to predict when to click an ad that is from, let's say, Coursera, or you're going to click an ad that is about food. That's basically what regression model does. And then classification model, they predict discrete values. For example, you have an image that has a cat, a dog, and let's say a snake. So a classification model answers questions like, is this a dog, is this a cat, is this a snake? So that's the classification model. So in order for us to create a model, we are going to have to make a decision what learning method are we going to use. For example, I'm working with some data from my organization. I have contacts and I'm supposed to place them into groups. So for me to be able to decide which method I'm going to use, I have to decide, do I have labeled data or not? If I have to use the supervised learning, if I don't have labeled data, I am going to use the unsupervised learning. So we're going to dive into the steps of machine learning. We have 12 steps. That's the basic, how you go about it. For example, you want to create create something with machine learning. So the first part, which is very important, is data collection. Data collection basically means you are extracting raw data sets from the machine for machine learning tasks. So you have to gather all the relevant data that you have so that it is in processable format, in a format that can be processed by your model. So after you have collected data, as I had said earlier, for machine learning to be successful, you need to have lots of data. So after you have collected the data, the next step is feature engineering. So in feature engineering, you look at the data that you have collected, the data sets, and then you transform features, and then some things that are not important for your model or for your task that you're going to do, you have to drop them so that you just remain with very important and useful data. And then after you have sorted your data, feature engineering is just like sorting out your data, getting what is important for your project. After you have sorted out your data, you go to model selection. Model selection is where you choose, am I going to use supervised learning or unsupervised learning? So this is what is mainly done by data engineers. You sit down, realize you have this data, we need to do this and this, and then you decide, am I using supervised learning or unsupervised learning? And then after that, it's model training and data pipeline. Model training means you create a continuous stream of data observation to efficiently train the model. So after you have trained your model, you go to model validation. So model validation is where you look at your model and get the amount of time it uses to validate the data, its performance generally. For example, because we won't need something that would take a very long time to process little amount of data. We need to save on time. So we have to ensure whatever we're working on, whatever model we're going to use, is going to take the shortest time and present data the way we want. So after that, we're going to model persistence. So on model persistence, that's after you have trained the data and validated the model. After training and validating the model that you've used, you you need to be able to save the model weights and possibly push the model to production. So after you have trained and validated the model, after ensure this model is doing whatever I want and it's working so well, the next thing you have to do is save the model, and you can, if it's efficient, you push it to production. So in this process, when you after if you push any model to production, that means you are able to let new people, new users who are not in the system creation to use your model and use and present whatever they want. And then after model persistence, there is model selection. On model selection, no, sorry. Uh, So model persistence is the last part. So after model persistence is where you have trained the model, you have made sure it's accurate, and then now you have sent it for presentation for people who are not from your circle to use it, the people who are not there during creation to use it. Uh, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. If there are any questions, I'm ready for it.
Okay, do you have any question for Victoria?
Hello, Victoria.
Hi, I can't hear you clearly.
Okay, so I thank you for your presentation. It's been very enlightening. I hear things like deep learning, things like models that you have to train. So I just wanted you to give us more highlights as we are listening to you. We would like to know the fields, how this knowledge can be applied in our everyday work of life. So maybe we can talk about some use case scenarios and some professions that would benefit from this knowledge of AI and machine learning. Thank you.
Sorry, please repeat your question.
Okay. Yeah. My name is Kosiso, and my question is, I needed you to highlight more on the professionals or industries where this knowledge can be applied, maybe with a few examples, so that it will help to inspire those of us who want to advance our career to, get this knowledge to fuse it into what we are currently doing. Thank you. Did you hear me?
So the first question was how we can be able to apply the skills, the ML on our day-to-day life. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yeah.
For example, yesterday I was listening to news here in Kenya, and the government was asking if we can get more data on how to treat COVID-19 or what is happening. So the first place we can apply machine learning is like in our hospitals. For example, right now during the COVID-19 period, we need so much data that is going to predict. For example, they say during the first phase of COVID-19, we had symptomatic, it was symptomatic, and then we were told again it's asymptomatic. So if we have data on that, the government, the scientists will be able to look at it and, for example, in in social media marketing, when you are marketing your stuff, for example, you use my page. I am a social media influencer, and you use my page to look at marketing your stuff. For example, you use my page. I am a social media influencer, and you use my page to look at what is hard to market your stuff. And then you get, like, you have 100 followers, and out of the 100 followers, 20 people purchase your item. That means the next time, that is going to be a data that I'm going to use. The next time I have another client, I'll be able to implement into. And then also you can see machine learning has been used for facial recognition. Right now, you go to Facebook and open your social media page. If you find someone who has posted a picture that you're in, you will find a notification saying this one and this one has posted a picture, and we think you are in that picture. Then it sends it there. Or also on Google Photos, you're able to group photos from different people. So the data machine learning basically is just about collecting data and being able to solve problems without having to really type to really call to really give so much instructions to your code. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you've answered my questions, and I'm able to see that machine learning is applicable for medical research and also in drug development and other areas you mentioned.
Okay. The question that was before that, any other question?
None for now.
Yeah, there is no question for now. I think you actually had an insightful session, and everyone actually understood everything you've said. Somebody said, how is machine learning applied to e-commerce? Hello, Victoria.
Hello, I haven't heard you clearly.
How is machine learning applied to e-commerce?
How is machine learning applied to e-commerce? So on e-commerce, is machine learning applied to e-commerce? So on e-commerce, I think machine learning can be applied, for example, selling your goods. I'm thinking you have a website that you are selling goods, and then different clients come and check every day. And you know you're not able to go through the page and look at what people are looking at. But how machine learning will help you? It will be able to evaluate what your customers are looking for, so that, for example, it's a clothing shop. If most customers come and look for trousers or come and look for shoes, I'm sure the next time I want to, if I look at the website, I'll be able to know that most people come here to look for shoes and trousers. That means I will increase my the products and whatever they want. So for e-commerce, it helps give insight on what your clients mainly like and what they appreciate, and what they want. I hope that's clear.
Thank you, Victoria, for that question. Right now, we'll be having a special session on how machine learning and artificial intelligence can be used in policing, like in police reforms. I would right now hand over to Ezine to introduce our next speaker.
Okay. Okay, so thank you, Victoria, for that insightful section. We'll be having our panel section in a moment. We'll be joining us soon. So for the panel section, we have Mr. Kosiso Anepe and Mr. Kene Okafor. With me here, we already have Mr. Daniel. So I'm going to be giving our panelists 2 minutes each to introduce themselves to the audience. Thank you.
Hello. And I'm managing partner of EduBridge Consultants Limited. I'm a software developer, a web designer, and an analyst. I am a digital analyst. I've been working in the web industry since 2006. Built my first website in 2004 when I was in the university. So I have like engaged in so many aspects of the industry, and I'm happy to be part of this webinar where we talk about innovation. Having seen a lot of innovation all these years, I'm happy to share my knowledge.
Hi, everyone. Okay, my name is Okaf Kene.
Hello.
Okay, I'm a software developer, and I have a bachelor degree on engineering. I started out a digital marketer, and I then moved on to be able to use WordPress to build websites, and from there, the growth was actually upwards. Learning about other technologies that I can be able to use to build web applications that end users can use, such as Laravel and Strapi and other frameworks available. So that's me. Thank you very much.
Okay, so now we are about to start the panel section. So the first question goes to Mr. Kosiso Anepe. So the first question is, how has tech changed in the past 5 years? What do you predict will happen in the next 5 to 10 years?
Okay, so thank you, Ezine. Technology is something that has been, it's constantly changing, and especially digital technology. It is something that every day there is improvement. I can say the way we built websites in 2004 when I started isn't what we use today. A lot have changed. We started with HTML4 and we all are doing HTML5 now and TypeScript. And we started with CSS, CSS3 and the rest. So, you know, in the past 5 years as well, we've seen the digital move from the Web 1.0 to Web 2.0. And apart from being in Web 2.0, we find ourselves right now where we are talking about Internet of Things, which is exactly the core concept of our webinar today. So we have a situation where even given the introduction of 5G, so we are breaking the boundaries these days. So there is, if we didn't go through the pandemic, I can tell you that it is predicted that by now things like self-driving cars would have, they would have left the lab and testing stage to the mainstream. So basically, technology is rapidly changing industry, and the change is happening for the benefit of the end users, and the change is happening for the benefit of humanity. So one thing that is very important is that we all need to understand how we can be part of this change. We can only be part of this change by learning how to learn, by actually being, trying new stuff and not being afraid to try new stuff. So because if I call myself a web developer and I am still using what I learned in 2004, by now I will be out of business. By now I would have been outdated. So, but if I knew that from time to time I need to subscribe for a learning program, I need to attend webinars, I need to attend seminars and learn from other people who are making this innovation, that's how to keep myself up to date. And it's very, very necessary actually in this world. And one thing that happens is that if you have been in this practice all this while, so it's an incremental knowledge. So it's not really that it's a detrimental knowledge, or the technology changes brings you to an incremental knowledge that when you want to learn something new, the things you knew before goes a long way to help you master the new things you need to learn. Thank you.
Okay, insightful response. So the next question goes to eh, so the question is, how do you describe machine learning to a non-technical person?
Hello. Okay. Number one is that when we look at machine learning, it's more about algorithm being able to automatically learn on their own. So if I'm to express like a human being, let's say you give birth to a boy or a girl, and within the first few years of their life, you'll be able to teach them some things they have to do. So upward from there, they have to learn on their own. So it's more about your computer being able to learn on its own, and using experiences, some of the things that they have experienced over the years, to be able to learn and improve on that. So that's what machine learning is about. And over the years, we have seen machine learning come from just your hardware to softwares and also the web, where you see we can be able to use machine learning when it comes to e-commerce and so many other things that we are so many other tech things that we have around. So that is a simple way for you to be able to understand what machine learning is. And okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kene, for thank you, Mr. Kene, for that insightful response. So we have the third question, and it's for Mr. Daniel. So what is one piece of practical advice you would give to someone starting out?
So I think
starting out, you have to, number one, understand where you are going to. You have to understand them in a layman's term. And the last speaker has already spoken about machine learning and talking about how computers can be taught using experiences, using data, using experiences, using data, using all of these things. So I think where to start is actually understanding this and understanding that you need to actually be or go to a place where these things are taught properly. And as an academy, I can assure you that we have courses that would aid your learning process, that will help you to go from a novice to a professional in just few only, which has some bit of experiential knowledge, internships, and all of that. So I feel that understanding in layman's term and being in the right place, in the right learning environment is a great place to start.
Thank you, Mr. Daniel. So the next question goes to Mr. Kosiso Anepe. The question is, what is the best resource for people who want to dive into or who are interested in machine learning and artificial intelligence?
Hello? Okay, so when we talk about the resources for machine learning, I think that one of the greatest resources is made available from Google Developer Platform. So if you go to that platform, it has some documentation for machine learning API from Google. And also we have also documentations from machine learnings that are made available from IBM. So if you Google around, you will get it. But you know, here is what I would always tell someone who is trying to learn. You see, if you're starting out and you want to learn something, if you go after people who are already doing that, you will gain a speed that you wouldn't usually gain doing it alone. Just like people would say, there's a saying that says that if you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to go far, go with some group. So basically, if I want to start out learning today, we do have some online learning platforms, but basically most of those online training are solo learning systems. You learn on your own. They are solo or self-paced. So, but if you find out that there are a platform which is something we provide under EduBridge Academy, using our global partners, if you are part of such a platform, one of the things that happens is that you go through a bootcamp process where you have other students who are learning at the same time with you, and also you have access to professionals who are doing machine learning, who are doing data science, who are doing digital analytics, who are doing digital marketing every day, like from 9 to 5. So some things that they're going to show you, or some things you're going to learn from such environment, is priceless, because you get to actually be handheld, sort of, so to say, in your journey, and it makes the learning experience more comprehensive, you know. So, and there is something very beautiful. It doesn't really matter what you studied, you know, just like the way once I have been taught how to read and write, I now qualifies to take a course, either science or arts, and then I'm in a school where I'm being taught. So the same way, it's actually like a school. So when you go into a learning program such as what we do have under EduBridge Academy, you will be taught from the rudimentary or from the fundamentals to giving you advanced programs, and even you get to do projects, and under those projects are thoroughly supervised, and that's giving you a model of learning that we have in our universities. And more so, it's not like a theory oriented training. It's a combination of practical and real world training that you're going to have access to mentorship and, you know, people who are advanced in this field of knowledge to guide you through.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Okay, thank you, Mr. Kosiso, for that response.
Yeah.
So the next question goes to Victoria. Victoria, can you still hear us?
Um, the difference between ML and artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is making computers simulate human thinking and capability and their behaviors, while machine learning is making machines learn from data without programming them explicitly. Also, machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence.
Okay, thank you for that. So the question was, what's the difference between artificial intelligence and machine learning?
Me?
Yeah, so the next question goes to Mr. Kosiso.
Yep. Okay.
What's the biggest challenge in the field of machine learning and AI at the moment?
Okay, so the truth is that this field of machine learning and AI is an evolving sector. So, and I would like to bring it down to our environment here in Nigeria. So, the reason why I want to do that is sometimes you will begin to understand that certain we are not in the same pedestal when it comes to what is happening in Silicon Valley. So, but I just want to talk about, because we are all innovators, right? So, or we are training you to be an innovator as you're listening to me. So the point, the thing here is that when you look at our environment here in Nigeria, you would agree with me that okay, we are still basically to a high level a paper-based world, right? So when you get into our hospital today and you look at what the processes that is going on, especially in our public sector, even in most private sectors, so majorly things that they do are paper based. So, and that creates so much gap between your ability to explore the knowledge of data science and things you already knew. So the same thing applies when you go to a government ministry or parastatal. So you see that they are all paper based majorly, and you don't even have the raw data in a format that you can consume or you can analyze or you can train a model after it. But I have a good news actually, and I want you, because I'm someone that always look at the positive side of things, and as an entrepreneur, or as you know, it's when you understand, you take things from the positive perspective, that you can actually innovate. So the positive side of all this is that the COVID-19 has been a blessing to Nigeria, right? So I'm going to give you an example. We have the Corporate Affairs Commission, which is the CSC. So in Nigeria, before the COVID-19, if you wanted to incorporate a company, you must sign and fill the document. They will give it to you. You can download it. You can download it on their website. You can download everything there, right? But you must fill it with pen and paper, biro, sign your signature in it, attach your physical passport to it and all that, and mail it in to them, right? So, and when they receive these things, they work with it manually and everything, and pack it in the file rooms, and that's basically the process before now. So, but something interestingly happened. Since the COVID-19, the Corporate Affairs Commission has declared that they would never, they are no longer interfacing with anybody. That anything you want to do with them, you must go to the first step, right? So the next step is, how can the data that we are gathering now with all this technology that are now being, with the transition to this kind of technology, how can we use machine learning to improve and efficiently manage the commission? So, like for example, I don't know, the how sophisticated the search algorithm that you use when you are trying to get a new name. So machine learning can be implemented in within the ecosystem or within the platform that currently runs the Corporate Affairs Commission, right? So so the game there is that you hearing about what I'm saying now, you begin to think about how can I innovate in that direction. So another one is the NAFDAC, right? So NAFDAC before COVID-19 is still the same, right? You just have to, you want to register a product, you would have to submit it, you travel all the way, bring it to the NAFDAC office. That's NAFDAC is Nigerian Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control. So now I did my internship in NAFDAC when I was still in university. So the process was typically a paper-based process. When you have a new product, you have to submit it in, and they receive the product, they go into the lab, they test it and all that. The data that we collect from lab tests is written in paper reports. So, but when we begin to, every process is now online, including payment, everything is now online. So, by that knowledge, I think that the future has come. We have arrived at the future in Nigeria. Every young person here today, you can create solutions, or with the aid of machine learning, to help the government sector, to help industries, to bring in innovation, train models that we could use for registration process for NAFDAC and all of that. So that's where the knowledge of this comes into play. So where what the opportunity I see here is that when you want to copy everything that is being that is happening in Silicon Valley, you get stuck, because you have to understand where our economy is, where our industry is, where our where is the ecosystem currently at. So we are really at a nascent stage. But I have a good news, and I want to use another model to explain this to us. So look at this. America, it took Americans many years to get mobile technology. Look at how the telephone technology grew in America. But when you compare that here in Africa or in Nigeria, as soon as the mobile technology was introduced, right, the growth was the growth was a quantum leap, and we grew from few users to millions of people using mobile technology, right? So if you look at that, what I'm trying to bring out in essence is this. So we may not have gotten it right during the computational age, Y2K age, but within the artificial intelligence age, there is a tendency that Africa is going to bridge the gap of years we've lost in a no data world with the use of artificial intelligence, and we want to think about it in this direction. So basically, I know that there is a prospect for us, and with machine learning, and machine learning brings into play things like vision, vision science, where machine can identify details about a particular image and tell that this is a cat or a dog, like Victoria rightly said. So now, what can you do with that knowledge when it comes to helping an industry like NAFDAC? You know what you're going to do with that? So you can create models that will scan papers, that will scan the written documents and computerize them and make that available, make that data available for use in other formats. So these are opportunities really, and it can also be applied to our legal system, right? So if you look at the court law, the courts today, it's still all about judgments being collected, and we have a Nigerian law system, Nigerian law reviews and all of that. So with machine learning, not only can you introduce technologies like live transcription into the law court, so a situation where, as the clerk of the court, as the proceedings are going, you can use machine learning technology to directly translate what the lawyers or the jurists are saying right in the courtroom into data format, and by the time they are leaving the room, it's available for every other person to use, right? So these are areas that we can potentially explore, and they actually need a customized solution, right? You are looking at how you can bring innovation. So understanding machine learning can help you innovate in areas that before now we are unable to innovate around them. So basically, I am making justice to the fact that we have a great opportunity before us to adapt the knowledge of AI and ML into into our environment in such a way that we can address our current situation and propose new, come up with something, solutions that are going to solutions that are addressing our situation, that are solving our immediate problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kosiso. So our last question will be for Victoria. So question is, how would you go about choosing an algorithm to solve a business problem? Victoria, did you get the question? Victoria, can you still hear us?
Yeah, the question is how go about solving a business problem. First of all, just like the way you're doing when you're starting up, building a website or something like that, break down everything that you need step by step, and then after you have written down, that means you have a summary, you have broken down your user story, you know what you require and what you don't require for the project. If it's an ML project, you get, you look for the model that matches your problem. For example, the data you have, the data you have, if the data matches, for example, you want to use the supervised learning, if you have the data and record use and supervised learning, and then step by step, make sure you solve each because by step solve each part of that problem. I think that's clear.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Victoria, for that. So I will hand over the mic now to Mr. Daniel.
We
Just stop this way. Put the mic this way.
at be a how-to for innovation as regards.
Okay. Hello? Can you repeat your question, maybe with my mic?
So yeah, I was saying, how can machine learning be a vital tool for innovation as regards police reforms and the NSAS agitations going on in Nigeria currently?
All right. So initially, when we, as things were developing towards this event, and we were contemplating if we should cancel this program because a lot of tech events has actually been cancelled, and if you are following the news, you would understand that currently there is a massive protest across Nigeria in almost every city. and this protest is happening few meters from where we are right now in our office. And it's all about people are sick and tired of the situation, of the high-handedness of the security personnel who are taking undue advantage and usurping powers unlimitedly over the citizens. And as always, the citizens, they've got to the precipice. So Nigerian youths have gotten to the precipice, and they have now come out to the streets to express their grievance. And personally, I sympathize, and I'm one of the youths who are not happy with the situation. So we looked at this project and we said, no, we are not going to cancel this event, knowing that this is all about technology innovation. The NSAS protest is something I strongly support. Having, being a witness to how they manage. So it's really, below as expected. So now, when we are discussing about this event prior to today, regarding if we should cancel it or if we should still go ahead, I thought about it. I said, yes, so many people have cancelled their event, but we have to look at it this way. The concept or the issue that is on the burner today is about the police reform. And, if you look at it from critical understanding, yes, the government has come up with a statement that the SARS is currently disbanded. So, but the truth is that we need police. And we need them to function effectively. We need the police system to help, protect lives. The truth is that because things were not set in place, the truth is because things were not put in place, they had abused the powers they were given, and especially the dangerous weapons they carry about, they have abused it. They've taken lives, because they have lethal weapons. So the truth is that the job that the SARS do, the job that the police do, can actually be done better with technology. And that's my own point of perspective. And that's how I would protest also, that as we are looking for solution, we are not going to throw the bath water with the child, right? We would actually throw the bath water, but we would retain the child. So we would take away the bad part in SARS, but we need their operatives. We need their operation, even if it's not going under the name of SARS. Like, the government has given us a new name, and it's called SWAT, right? We need them to be operational. But the truth is that we have to start thinking, as young people, what kind of SARS, or what kind of SWAT do we want to see in Nigeria? And that is what conference. What kind of what kind of policing system do we want to see in Nigeria? Is a policing system that is AI and machine learning driven. I'm telling you, we don't need any other thing apart from that. We need a police system that can implement artificial intelligence technology in the process of crime investigation. And this is really possible. But like I told you, we cannot go and copy a software from Silicon Valley and paste it in Aso Rock, right? We can't just go and copy out a software and paste it in our police station and say, okay, this is how it should work, this is what it should be. No. We have to grow our solution. And this is where I call on every young Nigerian. If you have flair in technology, we can produce solutions. This should come in as part of our demand to the government. They should sign a contract for the youth to build software solutions for the policing. Right? Okay, so if I'm going to throw more if I'm going to talk about how can the police use AI in policing. Okay, look at it today. You are a police officer, you are investigating. How do you know the trend in crime rates in Nigeria? You are investigating cybercrime. You shouldn't be stopping me on the road asking me, I want to see your Facebook, I want to see what you are doing with your Facebook, when the data is actually there, right? So look at what the methodology that the police are using today are crude. And we want to also demand a change in that methodology. We want to demand a change within the system. So we want to see the police bring in intelligent programmers to come into their network, to come into their offices as hackers, to help them that can work for the police. For example, we can apply the use of artificial intelligence within the crime diary, because I'm very much aware that when you walk into police station, and let's assume that you've been robbed, right? You walk into the police station to report a robbery. They're going to open a case file for you. They're going to ask you, how did it happen? What happened? Tell us. You narrate the story. What color were they wearing? Were they wearing black? What can you identify about the criminal? You tell them all these things. And my brother, where is it written? In a piece of paper. And by the time you turn your back, that piece of paper is forgotten. So if we were actually looking to, reform the police, we must go the data, and we must go the direction of computerizing. We must go the direction of using artificial intelligence to build a stronger police force. So, for example, that data they are collecting, even if someone cannot write, I can talk. I can record it in an app. So police can tell me, okay, download your app, make your case report. I can record it. And by the time I finish recording, it can be translated into text. And it can be analyzed back in a data system. So where you begin to see a crime trend, if police now wants to really curb that crime, they have the data and they can act professionally. They can act with accuracy. And that's what we are talking about. That's the kind of police system we want to use. We want to see in our country. I'll give you an example. The young man that we all know, Hush Puppy, was arrested in Dubai, right? Did they stop Hush Puppy on the road to ask him, I want to see your phone? Oh, you have been showing pictures of iPhone 12, iPhone 11. Tell us about yourself. That's not the process. The data is there. The police have access to our to everything. They have unfettered access to even bank records. So we can build a system, an artificially intelligent system that can trigger and send reports to police. Starting even from, for example, I remember having been to Beijing. So I was in Guangzhou. What happened when you come in as a traveler? The hotels are going to scan your passport. The moment they scan your passport, it's going back to the central database of the police. So as a foreigner, when you enter China, they scan you in with your passport at the port of entry. When you go to a hotel, they scan you in at the hotel reception, and the police have data. They have access to that. Now tell me how people will come from all the way from Timbuktu to cause kidnapping if we have their data. Are you getting me? So I think that as young people, we have the right to be angry with the system, but the solution is on our hands. We can demand that, as part of what we are requesting the government to do, we can demand that there will be a unit that will be responsible for software developers that are going into the police system. And of course, if I'm very good as a software developer, the pay scale that they should give me would not be the same pay scale for other people, because if I am that good, right, I can go and work for Facebook or Amazon, right? So if they want that unit, the intelligent unit, throughout today, if you look at how their police system, how they are managing their territory, it's every, and they even export cyber security to the world. So if the Nigerian police is going to be reformed, we must make sure that there is a cyber security unit. Forget about all these things you hear EFCC doing. How much have they implemented? Truly, I support the answers. And my demand today in 16 as I speak, my own protest is that we are demanding that artificial intelligence and machine learning units be created in the police stations. Thank you.
Mr. Kosi, for that insightful take on machine learning and it as a tool for innovation as regards police reforms and bringing it home enters in Nigeria. So yeah, I think I will hand over to Ezine now to round up the session. Then I will talk about the Edinburgh Digital Academy.
Okay. So thank you so much for
This way, Mike, take it in.
Okay. Thank you so much for the insightful sections, Mr. Daniel, Mr. Kosiso, and Mr. Kene. And also thank you to all attendees for staying throughout the course of this webinar. I'll be handing over the mic to Daniel to give us the closing remark. Thank you.
So before we close, I would just want to quickly tell us a bit about the Edinburgh Digital Academy, and because we have a big idea of empowering everybody, young people and career people, to actually improve your skill and to take you from a position of not knowing to a position of professional. And we offer for workforces and for corporate, we offer organizations opportunity to prepare for the future of work. We offer you a flexible and cutting edge academic program where you can take your staffs and your workers on machine learning, as we've talked today, on software development, on cyber security, on data science, on digital marketing, and on product design. And why do you feel that you have to partner with us as an individual or as an organization? Because we actually have a global partnership with some of the best training institutes in the world, like SimplyLearn. We have an interactive and applied training system as an academy. We actually have accredited courses that have that will give you an edge. Number 4 is that we have international certification as part of our academy. Number 5 is that as an academy, we actually help you to enhance efficiency and productivity, either for your personal growth or for your organizational growth. And lastly, we have experienced faculty, this like I mentioned earlier. And we actually have our corporate and individual training catalog on digital marketing. We have courses on mobile and software development. We have courses on quality management and productivity. We have courses on big data and analytics. We have courses on cyber security. We have courses on project management, on cloud computing, on artificial intelligence and machine learning, and on the branding and digital design. And a beautiful thing about the academy is that we have different learning mode, which applies to how available you are and which of them is more flexible for you. We have instructor-led classroom where you can come into a live physical classroom, and we also have self-paced e-learning where you can actually use our online platform and get yourself acquainted with some of those professional courses. And as an organization, we've partnered with Google, we've partnered with UWIN, we've partnered with Union Bank of Nigeria, we've partnered with the Lagos State Educational Trust Fund, we've partnered with Fidelity Bank, we've partnered with the NYSC, and we've partnered with some trade unions. And our students have worked in various places across the world, and in Nigeria we have PZ Christians, we have Access Bank, we have Insight Publicis, we have White Fusion, we have Previs, InterSwitch, and UBA. And because of this, we've actually shown to be an academy that is actually focused on bringing success stories, people that have been that are now cream of their stories, as I said earlier. We are in the business of bridging the digital skills gap. We are in the business of ensuring that you are now a professional in digital skills. We are in the business of making you understand how to use these skills, not just as a theoretical knowledge, but how to use them innovatively and be practical with all of these skills. So you can get in touch with us, academy.edubridge.com.ng, or you call 01-291-6555. So
All right, so I have some good news to make an announcement. I want you to follow our Facebook and our Twitter handles, which is EduBridge Consultants or EduBridge NG. Um, we are in the process of coming up with a boot camp, right? So this boot camp program is a 6 months campus-based program that we're working in partnership together with the CBN, and I don't want to mention all the details because they are still in the works. So, but basically, the program is designed to help us raise the next set of, artificial intelligence and data, software engineers in the country, and they will be working on real projects that will be affecting some of the things we've just spoken. So basically, it's a multifaceted strategy. We're engaging the public sector. We are also looking at working together with the young people to build solutions through a long, intensive training where they will stay on campus and they will be receiving allowance. I mean, they are going to get paid, and while they learn, and at the same time they will be trained by internationally acclaimed facilitators and faculties, both from Nigeria and both from our partners in India, Singapore, and United States and South Africa. So and even Kenya. I'm speaking with respect to Victoria. I'm sure that very soon you will receive our invitation from our academy to come and be a mentor. So we have mentors from all around the world: Canada, United States, South Africa, Singapore, India, Singapore, India. So across all this, including United Kingdom. So when this program is released, it's something that you don't even, you are going to join the program by learning, and you earn, and it comes with a full package. So the details will be made available, but I want you to make sure that you follow our page, subscribe to us, fill our forms that will be displayed to you, and we will get in touch to you as well. Thank you. Yeah, it's working.
thank you everyone for joining us in today's webinar. It's been an insightful and amazing journey, and we've talked about machine learning. Thank you, Victoria, for joining us, and thank you, Mr. Kosi, Mr. Zene, and Mr. Kenechuku. From all of us here at EduBridge Digital Academy, we say bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Ndewo. Yoruba. Odabo. Sanjuma.
You will agree with me that online is the new normal for businesses. My name is Kosiso Anekwe, and I'm the managing partner, EduBridge Consultants, a one-stop digital marketing company. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, we have all moved our lives online, and businesses have moved their processes online like never before. Everyone has come to terms with the potential of online businesses, but we still have a few who are unable to succeed with online. A lot of small businesses are having challenges when it comes to moving their businesses online, and this is why we have introduced the Small Business Starter Kit to help small businesses who are looking to grow their businesses online. We will not only help you build your online presence, we will help you find customers online by showcasing your products to over 400,000 potential customers or sending traffic of over 5,000 potential customers to your website. And that's not all. If you don't want just traffic, we will help you make your customers call your line or fill out your lead generation forms. Sign up with us today. We are happy to work with you to grow your business online. Hello, if you own a business, you will agree with me that online is the new normal for businesses. My name is Kosiso Anekwe, and I'm the managing partner, EduBridge Consultants, a one-stop digital marketing company. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, we have all moved our lives online, and businesses have moved their processes online like never before. Everyone has come to terms with the potential of online businesses, but we still have a few who are unable to succeed with online. A lot of small businesses are having challenges when it comes to moving their businesses online, and this is why we have introduced the Small Business Starter Kit to help small businesses who are looking to grow their businesses online. We will not only help you build your online presence, we will help you find customers online by showcasing your products to over 400,000 potential customers or sending traffic of over 5,000 potential customers to your website. And that's not all. If you don't want just traffic, we will help you make your customers call your line or fill out your lead generation forms. Sign up with us today. We are happy to work with you to grow your business online.